All right. And then I am also going to start the Facebook Live. All right. And we are live on Facebook. Exciting. We have the info session with Warrior Scholar Project and the University of Michigan. My name is Derek O'Geist. I am the Alumni Engagement and Outreach Fellow, and it is my honor and privilege to introduce Ryan Pave, the CEO of Warrior Scholar Project and a proud University of Michigan alum. Ryan, please.
Thanks so much, Derek. In contrast to your credentials of being Derek Facebook Live O'Geist, I'm not used to being on Facebook Live, so I'll see if I can emulate the things that I've seen you do. So, hey everybody, I'm really happy to be here. As Derek said, I'm very fortunate to call myself a proud University of Michigan alum, and now I serve as the CEO of Warrior Scholar Project. There are so many things about this session where it's the culmination of years and years of partnership and of hard work, and it brings me immense amounts of joy that we're able to come together and talk about what this program looks like, in particular at University of Michigan, and importantly for us to be able to hear from some folks that are both Michigan alum themselves and also alum of the Warrior Scholar Project boot camp at Michigan. So that's really where I think we can hear a lot about what their experiences were like and how it has propelled them to success. They're both very successful in their current ventures. So I'm excited to get to that part. I want to say thank you to a number of the people that are on the call. Many years ago, Phil and Cassie and I put our heads together with a few other folks and figured out how we could launch Warrior Scholar Project University of Michigan. That was back in 2014. Thinking about ways for us to be able to do this. Dr. Fred's a part of that as well. Michael Hartman has been a huge part of this since 2016 or so, and continues to be a part of how we're able to make this program successful. It's really been a team of people that are committed to advancing veteran success on great institutions, on great campuses like University of Michigan. And that's what I love about the veteran community. It's people that are working together to support each other. I'm going to get out of the way here and let the experts speak on what their experiences were like. Really just very grateful to everybody that has made this possible, and that was perfectly timed. So now I'm going to hand over to Cassie, who was my partner and one of my partners in crime for many years in the early stages of the program, a double graduate of University of Michigan, recently got her MSW, and she also, in addition to everything that she's done at University of Michigan, is also now serving on the outreach side for Warrior Scholar Project. So a tremendous asset to both the institutions, Michigan and WSP. So over to you, Cassie, to say a few words.
Wow, thank you. I'm not really sure what else I can add other than I am so excited to be a part of this organization and especially working with the University of Michigan. Like Ryan said, I have 2 degrees from the University of Michigan, and I love the institution. I love the support that veterans receive from Phil and everyone working in that office. And being able to work with the Warrior Scholar Project in the outreach team and helping veterans achieve their potential or even achieve more than what they ever thought they could possibly achieve is the most humbling part of this for me. It's such an honor to be a part of someone else's journey and helping them realize that they are more capable than they ever thought possible. And I am so fortunate to be able to be a part of that journey and to help other folks in ways that I wish I would have had help when I was transitioning out of the military. So to be a part of this is really amazing. And partnering with the University of Michigan is, it's just overwhelming, the amount of support that the university offers to veterans and to the Warrior Scholar Project in particular. And I guess I don't really know what else to add other than I'm just really excited to be here. And if I can help in any way, in any capacity, then that's what I'm here for. And I can't wait to be a part of this. So Derek, back to you.
Thanks so much, Cassie. I really, really appreciate it. So everyone, what I'm going to do now is go through a really quick slideshow presentation, just kind of explain who we are, what's Warrior Scholar Project, what are we all about? And then I'm going to introduce Phil, who is the Program Director for Military and Veteran Services at the University of Michigan. And he's gonna share some of the unique services and programs that the University of Michigan offers to their veteran students. So bear with me while I do this share screen thing. So just sit tight. I'll try to do it as quickly as possible. There we go. Can everybody see my screen okay? Fantastic. Warrior Scholar Project. We offer 3 curriculum tracks of academic boot camps. We have a humanities track. Those are your English, history, literature, political science type courses, where we really focus on reading and writing skills. And that's what we want to take you from, whether you are interested in a 4-year degree, or you're interested in higher education, or you're interested in going to an accelerated program. This is a great foundational course, an academic boot camp, to give you some necessary skills around how to study effectively, how to manage your time, how to read effectively, and how to write effectively, because that's something that you're going to do regardless of what your future academic goals may be. We offer a boot camp in STEM, and that's where we really kind of hone in on the math and physics skills. And then lastly, our business and entrepreneurship program, where we want to introduce you to the type of coursework that you could experience at a 4-year institution in the realm of finance, marketing, how to evaluate a case study, how to think through and start a business. And what's really nice about these boot camps is that you're going along these boot camps with a cohort of other enlisted veterans. And so that brings it to a key point: who's eligible for our program? And that is an enlisted service member, whether you're active duty, reserve, National Guard, even if you're Coast Guard, you can apply to one of our boot camps, and you have to be in the pursuit of a bachelor's degree, meaning that you are at the point of, I don't even know if I want to do school, all the way up until you have yet to start your senior year. You have to have 1 year left before completing a bachelor's degree, and you are eligible to apply to one of our programs. Our programs have 0 cost to the veteran. We provide all the course material for our virtual boot camps. For our in-person boot camps, we have 6 this summer that are available. The only cost is to get to and from the university. That's it. Travel to and from the university. Once you get on campus, we'll take care of the rest. We'll take care of the housing, we'll take care of the food, and all the course materials you need for your week or 2-week boot camps, depending on the curriculum track that you choose to attend. Now, I want to let you know, okay, the most difficult part of this entire process is our website, right? All you have to do is put in warriorscholar.org/apply, okay? The application's 15 minutes. You'll set up a phone call with one of our outreach team members. They'll have a 15-minute conversation. They'll kind of, talk to you about the different programs, the nuances between the programs, ask you what your academic goals are, and if there's a program that is suited to meet your needs. One of the really awesome things about our program is that we have these partnerships with schools like the University of Michigan. If you've ever thought about the University of Michigan and thought it was outside of your reach or outside of what's capable or available to you, this is a great way to begin to start building networks and meeting alumni from University of Michigan and meeting folks who have been where you're at, been on the other side of applying, have applied, been accepted, and are now alumni of the school. They're going to talk to you and give you an opportunity to talk to you about, what are some things to focus on when you're writing your personal statement? What are some things to highlight about that? Who are some individuals that you can talk to get, some clear understanding of how best to position yourself for admittance to the University of Michigan? That's a really cool thing about what Warrior Scholar Project has to offer you. And has with that relationship with the University of Michigan. Now, here are our summer academic boot camps. Okay, we run our boot camps during the summer. One of the main reasons why we do it during the summer is because we have peer mentors. We call them fellows. These are individuals that have gone through our program, are enlisted veterans, and who are currently completing academic higher education goals. So they're going to give you real world knowledge and experience of what it's like being a student veteran today in today's university. Okay, they're going to give you some tricks of the trade. They're going to give you some obstacles to keep an eye out for, and they're going to position you so that you know what to expect and what's expected of you when you step on campus. All right, in the fall. So as you can see, we have our humanity boot camps. You can see we have some virtual and on-site options, our STEM boot camps, and our business and entrepreneurship boot camps. I'm telling you now, get your application in. We only have a few slots left. We don't want to leave anybody out. So the best way to secure a slot is to get your application in and get that thing started so that we can get you through it and have you in one of our boot camps this summer. And you're going to find out a little bit later on how these boot camps are going to prepare you and position you for success in whatever your higher education goals may be. I told you my presentation will be quick. Now I want to hand it over to Phil, who is the program director for military and veteran services at the University of Michigan. Phil, it's all yours, sir.
Mute myself. Thank you very much, Derek. I would also be amiss, first of all, to acknowledge my partner in crime for this for a number of years, Michael Hartman, who is fantastic. You'll get a chance to meet him if you come on campus. Hopefully he'll say something, say a wave and say hello. Even on this recording, Michael is great because he can help you not only prepare for the admissions process, but also talk about transfer credits and talk about what things you can do to better position yourself academically to get to Michigan, especially if you're joining our boot camp, and you'll be able to talk with him and spend time with him, and he's going to be able to look over your past academic record and best position you to get here. So I do want to do a shout out to Michael Hartman while I'm here too as well. And I want to say how proud I am of all the Michigan alumni who are joining us today. I couldn't be happier, and acknowledge that they were once, and if you're watching this, they were once in your shoes, looking how they could better their academic potential, and coming to Michigan was a great opportunity for them. So thank you so much for being here. One of the biggest things I want to promote for Warrior Scholars, it's a great academic program. It's a great program to prepare you for success in the future. It gives you a sense of what you can do academically. It gives you some tools to be able to do that while you're here. And just really come and join the leaders and the best. Like the screen says, your service and one of the best public institutions in the country. Do we have the next slide real quick? Things that there's a lot of things I could tell you about Michigan. The best thing you could do is come. So the best selling point for Michigan is A, being here inside of our community, and B, meeting our students and alumni who love their experiences at the University of Michigan. So our best ambassadors, and you'll meet them a little bit later, are our students and our alumni. So I think we're a welcoming place for veterans. We look at you with a holistic application. We value your life skills that you bring to the campus. We value your different perspectives that you bring to our campus and our classrooms. And so when you apply, we look at those things as part of your application. We're affordable, which is kind of a surprise to a lot of people. The cost barrier is really removed for you. If you, we do in-state tuition. If you make less than $65,000 a year and less than $50,000 of assets, we have the Go Blue Guarantee, which will actually pay for 4 years of your tuition free, which is great. And you can talk to me or Michael about any of those. We have priority class registration when you sign up, so you get your classes first. We are elite research public institution with many opportunities for you to take classes, different classes, meet world-renowned professors, participate in research and get your name published as an undergrad, which is almost unheard of. Just big degree programs, big connections to big corporations across the United States and nonprofits that you can get your hands on doing stuff. We have international prestige in that, so your degree will go really, really far. We also promote our award-winning VA hospital, which we basically have a healthcare professional who talks to our students and gets them signed up for VA healthcare. We have a benefits person who talks to you about VA benefits from the VA and knows all those secret doors and levers to pull. And in fact, the campus bus runs to our VA hospital, which is kind of cool. So that and a lot more. I could do this for a half an hour and a half, but I'm out of time. But just come and join us and experience our campus.
Thanks so much, Phil. I really, really, truly appreciate it. And so now it's going to be really, really cool because I have two alumni here who are going to share their experience. Let's get them on the screen. We have JT and Riva here with us, both University of Michigan alum, as well as Warrior Scholar Project alum. So we're really excited to have them here tonight. So the first question I'm gonna have for Riva is if you could just introduce yourself. If you could let us know the branch of service, what you do in the military, where did you do Warrior Scholar Project, and what did you study at University of Michigan? So we'll start with Riva first, and then we'll go to you, JT.
Hi, everyone. I'm Riva Zoskowski. I was in the Air Force as a avionics technician in another lifetime. I did Warrior Scholar, I think it was the first year at Michigan in summer 2014, like maybe less than a few weeks before I started at University of Michigan. So it caught me at the prime time of I'm panicking. I don't know what I'm doing. This is real. And so it was wonderful. And I did my undergrad in English, and then I went on to do my master's in creative writing at Texas State.
Great, thanks so much. JT, over to you, sir.
Hello, my name is JT. I was in the Navy for a little bit over 9 years. I was a nuclear machinist mate. I attended WSP at Michigan in the summer of 2017. I graduated from Michigan last year, class 2020, with my bachelor's in nuclear engineering and radiological sciences. But I am currently in law school at Arizona State, using my engineering degree in a different way.
Fantastic. All right, awesome. So let's get into it, right? Because I think one of the things that I know as an enlisted service member, you know, when I thought about higher education, I was really just nervous. I didn't do well in high school, and I knew I wanted to go to college. After my high school experience and my first stab at college where I crashed and burned, I didn't think it was it for me. So I just kind of want to ask you kind of like, what was it like before, you know, graduating high school and, you know, your thoughts of college? Did you know you wanted to do college right away? Did you know you wanted to join the military right away? Just kind of what was that experience like prior to, you know, after high school and before the military? We'll start with JT this time since the spotlight's on. Give Riva a chance to collect your thoughts.
I mean, there's a little bit of heartbreak associated with mine. I actually had no intention of ever going to college. So out of high school, I enlisted at 17. I ended up in Ann Arbor because I was married at the time and my ex-wife was working on her PhD at Michigan. And I think she was getting a little embarrassed of introducing me to her coworkers and friends. This is my husband. He works at Extended Stay America, fixing the toilets and installing the light bulbs in the bathrooms. And so I think that was creating a little bit of strife in our relationship. It clearly wasn't the only strife, but part of that was that she was really motivated and pushed me towards exploring like education. And that's kind of how I ended up like researching and started attending community college, getting in tight with the veteran community there, and then being introduced to Warrior Scholar.
Awesome. Riva, what's your story?
Well, I'll give you the abbreviated version. I did not do well in high school. And I actually went to a performing arts high school where I was a musical theater major. I don't know if any of you knew that already. And then I just like walked into a recruiter's office and said, I want to fix airplanes. And he was like, okay. And that's what I did. And so getting out of that, I knew I wanted to go to school full time, but I didn't have like virtually any confidence. I did a year at Spring Arbor, if anyone knows that tiny town and tiny university. And then I worked for a year in Ann Arbor while I continued to apply to U of M. So I think I ended up applying 3 or 4 times before I got in. And major props to Phil, because he literally told me, don't take no for an answer. And then they let me in. So it worked out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I was a musical theater guy in high school as well. So that's probably why I didn't do well in high school either. You had to stay up late for plays and stuff and rehearsals.
When you're bursting into song in the hallway, you just don't have time to pay attention to class.
That's right. That's right. So I bring you to a good point, right? Because I mean, we all thought ourselves that, okay, education was definitely an important part of our lives. At some point, we got there in various different ways. But then when you enlisted in the military, one of the reasons I enlisted, one of the reasons was because I did some self-reflection and realized, okay, I'm not going to succeed being a snot-nosed punk kid. I am going to need some discipline, and I am going to need some perseverance. And I got that, tenfold, joining the Army and serving in the Army. What were some skills that, you look back now at your time enlisted that contributes to your success today? Like, what are a couple of things that you could point to? And I'll throw it to Riva first this time, give JT a chance to collect his thoughts and pick on one. I know he has a handful, but we'll narrow it down to just one.
Honestly, I'm going to kind of take it and spin it, because I don't think I was ready to learn anything from active duty. The majority of my growth happened after active duty, when I was on the guard side, but that's like a 90% veteran. You're not really working in the military anymore. So all of that guard time, and then all the years since, that's where I've found my strength. Like on active duty, I think I could kind of show up and do what I was told, and I wasn't required to have a voice or to believe in myself necessarily. And coming out of active duty and coming into the school realm is where I got to put that to the test. I got to find my voice. I had opportunities to believe in myself and believe that I was capable of bigger things, and really, like Cassie said, bigger than I could have even imagined. I did not plan on going to grad school, and I did it, and I had a baby during grad school, and I did that. So now that I've done that, there's absolutely nothing that I cannot do.
All right, fantastic. Warrior mom. I like it. JT, so what's a skill that you kind of attribute to, your military service in general, right? I think Riva highlights a very good point that, we pick up these things in various times of our military service, not just when we served and when we're in the uniform. I know I had tremendous growth after I transitioned, after getting punched in the mouth with transition and realizing I wasn't as squared away as I thought I was. So JT, just any point during your military service that you can say, what, that's something I'm glad I used today?
Yeah, I would say it's attention to detail, the time management. These are things that are just kind of hammered into you. Your pack out, like everything, your load out, like everything that goes into just your day to day is huge. And you can definitely take those skills that you learned and apply those to your day to day in school, right? Just leave it at that. I mean, really, it's the attention to detail. You'll be so far ahead of your peers with just your background, your military experience with that.
Yeah, and I want to talk about, I think one of the things, I had an issue when I first got to campus where I thought I couldn't relate to my classmates. Like I couldn't relate to my peers, right? Like I had this thing, like I'm a veteran, I'm older, like what are we gonna have in common, really, truly, right? And I realized that it was like all over here with me. Like my classmates couldn't wait to meet me and get to know me and hear about my experiences. So I just kind of want to share kind of like, what was your experience like? Because University of Michigan is a big school. And what was your experience like being a student veteran at the University of Michigan? And I'll just throw it up to either one of you if you want to go first. Feel free.
I'll go. I don't know if this is super helpful because my experience was very unique, I think, because I moved to Ann Arbor And I got to know everyone at like in the Student Veterans of America chapter. I knew everyone because I was there 2 years before I got in. So I was kind of like already integrated into campus and to the clubs and whatnot. But I think that there were several organizations. SVA was a huge one. And then also Team RWB and the Mission Continues, all organizations that like getting anchored with other veterans, but also like other people in the community. That was pretty critical to my transition.
I would say I'm sure Reva's experience was extremely unique, but I was also plugged into SCA like 2 years before I got there. So I honestly feel like I was recruited to Michigan by Phil right up there. I was talking to Phil when I was still in the Navy, actually, and Phil was giving me the game plan and like the lowdown how to get here. And I was in Ann Arbor before I even applied to college, and so I remember meeting the SVA, starting to go to their meetings. Getting in touch with that organization. I think I even met Cassie before I even thought about Michigan as a school. So I do feel, yeah, Team RWB, there's a ton of veteran organizations connected to the school, just connected to the county and connected to Ann Arbor as a whole that are just great for support. I don't even remember what the question was. Hopefully that answered it.
No, that's great. No, that's great. I mean, I think that's important too, right? Because I think it's, oftentimes, when I first got out, I did like the 180-degree sprint away from the military and said, okay, I just want to like do nothing military whatsoever. And then it wasn't until, like I said, I got hit in the mouth with transition and the reality of civilian life and life after the military that I had to kind of like, put my tail between my legs and humble myself and then come back to some of the things that the military is very beneficial at and find myself in my veteran community, and really kind of using that community to lean on to prop me up so that I could build the strength in order to go off and do my own thing and kind of expand my horizons. Because that's the same thing I did when I was at school. I got really tight with the veteran student organization on campus. And then from there branched to mentoring freshmen during a leadership program, right? And really forming these really cool bonds with 18-year-olds, which I never thought, would have been possible. And so kind of shifting gears, when you're thinking about going through your Warrior Scholar Project experience, right? And that week, oftentimes when people hear like how transformational that experience was, like it completely changed how I did school. It was a night and day difference. And the best academic experience that I ever had was that year after I did Warrior Scholar Project. Like it was just hands down the best time I had on campus because the fear of the academics was lifted from my shoulders. I wasn't worried about, getting a passing grade. Like I knew I had that piece on lock. So tell me about, kind of your Warrior Scholar Project experience that week. And if you could share like an aha moment for you where, really was like, oh man, this is so great. Like, I'm so glad I'm here. Again, either one, if you want to jump on and start off.
Yeah, I'll go first this time. I think WSP is like a confidence course, right? So it's like the same thing as like putting on the gas mask and then taking it off in the the gas chamber, or like checking out your gear, like putting on your little green chemical suit, right? It's all those things. Like I've been given the tools. Like, will I be able to use them under pressure? And I think that's what WSP kind of acts as, where it gives me this like controlled environment to apply these tools that I've been given. I thought WC was great. I think the big aha moment for me is the feedback. I turned in a writing assignment and I was not really confident as a writer. Didn't do a lot of writing while I was in the Navy. So here I am 10 years removed from high school and I'm writing a paper about democracy, right? Alexis de Tocqueville and founding fathers and stuff like that. And I'm just getting feedback that I actually sound somewhat coherent to these English professors. And so that was a big confidence builder.
Yeah, I agree. That's what it did for me as well. I was an English major, so I was pretty okay with like writing papers. But I think it was just the confidence that was what was the most, like the biggest thing I got out of the whole week. Was like, oh, like I can do this. I already can do all of the work, and it's, you know, it's not as scary once you like dip your toe in. And it's also like low stakes, relatively. Like you're not getting a grade from Warrior Scholar. Like nobody's gonna shame you. You're probably not going to get flagged for plagiarism, technically. So it was a really good intro into that kind of the rigor of what University of Michigan will be and what higher education will be. For sure, it's gonna be hard, but you can do hard things. And I think that my aha, I might have said this last time. I'm glad Tim's not here to hear this, but was from Stacy of 2014 Warrior Scholar, who I forget what class we were in, but she said, be kind to your future self. And that applies to much more than just school. So it's always been in the back of my mind that it's always like, make the decision now that your future self will be proud of and will be thankful for. Like right now, I need to do my dishes before I go to bed tonight, because tomorrow Riva does not want to do dishes.
Got it. That's awesome. No, that's so great. And I really appreciate how both of you kind of touched upon, you know, the different nuances of Warrior Scholar Project, right? JT talked about, you know, the writing instructor and kind of going through that writing process. And Riva, you talked about your fellow cohort members, right? I mean, I think it's really important that, you know, in the military, from reception, you're not alone, right? There is somebody by your side. You're not sleeping alone anymore. You're not bathing alone anymore. Like, you know, the things that you think that you take for granted as a civilian that are personal get thrown out the window once you join the military. And then you separate and now you're alone. And I think what's really cool is that Warrior Scholar Project, you know, kind of recreates kind of being in that unit cohesion. And you touched upon it, you know, finding that veteran group on campus, right? Kind of, you know, recreating that unit kind of culture where you're not doing everything alone by yourself, right? There is some, you know, mutual embrace of the suck, right? I think, you know, when you're embracing the suck and you have people there embracing it with you, you just kind of could look over and chuckle like, yeah, this sucks so good right now. We're just gonna keep plowing on and keep moving on, and we're gonna be all right. And so I want the next question I want to ask each of you is, you've both left University of Michigan and have gone off to do incredible things. And so I just want to talk about that transition, right? Like, how did University of Michigan prepare you for that next step, right? Riva, you said you weren't even thinking about graduate school, right? JT, to go from I'm not even thinking about college to now being at law school. Like, you know, what was those things that U of M, you know, gave you kind of to prepare you for that next step?
A little bit of an ego. You know, maybe the ego that we already kind of acquire from military service, that we're like not better than other people, we're just stronger and smarter. And University of Michigan, I'm sure other schools also, but it's like another layer of identity. Like, oh, well, I got into U of M. Oh, I graduated from U of M. So like, I'm up there, like I'm on another level. And so it's, I mean, obviously there's more than that, but it's a little bit of the ego, that the confidence that you can go into whatever is next, and also be amazing at that.
I 100% agree that there's Phil, I think one of my first conversations with Phil is he said, like, what, this is the major leagues now, right? So, community college was the minor leagues, right? You showed that you could do it at the minor leagues. Now you got to do it again at the major leagues. And so, yeah, there was a little bit of like the ego there that, made it work at Michigan. I would say the other thing is the network here. There are so many people have done so many different things who have Michigan as on their resume as like, that's where their education is from. And so I was able to meet people who had a similar background as I did, who were also going to law school. Someone I knew who had done the Navy, done the nuclear thing, and then had decided, hey, I'm going to use my nuclear degree for law school. And so I was just meeting people who are along the same pathways. And there's so many different experiences at Michigan, and you just get access to that network of all those people.
No, that's fantastic. And so, you know, as we kind of wrap up the formal portion of this info session, last point that you want to leave people to walk away with, and what, you know, before I do that, Riva, I do want to ask you about Pave before we do that, because I know it's a big part. It started at University of Michigan. So if you could just take a minute or two just to kind of explain what Pave is and how that is unique to the culture of U Michigan and how it's been able to grow from there.
Yeah, so Pave, Peer Advisors for Veteran Education, is the organization I work for now, post grad school, and am back in Ann Arbor. So if anyone wants to get coffee in Ann Arbor, I'm always available. So yeah, Pave, we're now on 47 campuses, but it did start at University of Michigan. And it's a peer-to-peer mentoring program, but that we don't like the word mentorship. But basically just helping people, like student veterans coming from active duty, coming out of the military into the higher education space, and matching them with someone who's been on campus for a while, so that they're able to have a point person. Basically, we're like, where is the library again? And which one am I supposed to go to? There are like 6. Where's this building that my class is in? What's up with the SVA? Whatever it is, like, just to have somebody, and to have somebody who's a peer, like another veteran who is there and is doing the thing and can commiserate with you or just relate with you on that level, is always helpful. So I would say it's uniquely Michigan, because we are all over the place now, but it is a wonderful program and it's very helpful, just like Warrior Scholar, getting veterans into school and succeeding once they're there.
Fantastic. And so kind of the last question I want to ask each of you is, you know, last bit of information that if you could tell your younger self this info, right? It's like, oh man, if only someone told me this when I was going through it, I would be so appreciative. So if there's any last minute or last bit of advice you'd want to give to your younger self, now's your chance.
This is a huge part of the WSP curriculum, is the degreening piece. And so if you do, so hopefully you take the course and you'll get access to this during the boot camp, like the degreening. But just that transition process, right? Derek, you alluded to it and how it can be very difficult for some people. I had some difficulties myself with the transition. And so I think the advice I give my younger self is to not try and do it alone. That's definitely what I try to do. And I think I've seen a few veterans do that. I work right now I do a side gig as a substance abuse counselor for the courts down here in Arizona. And a lot of it is also is veterans, whether education or not education, they're trying to do their transition alone. And then they end up falling into some of these pitfalls and these traps. So definitely just get out there and look for the help, because there are so many people who just want to help, and it's out there everywhere.
Mine is a little specific, but it's the first thing that came to mind. I ended up learning about Voc Rehab at the end of my undergraduate career. Thankfully, I got in under the wire with the world's best Voc Rehab counselor, who she unfortunately is no longer a Voc Rehab counselor in Michigan, but and then they paid for my grad school. So I think that I think just like familiarizing yourself with, sorry, there's Paw Patrol in the background. Familiarizing yourself with all of the many resources that there are available at every university, and especially to veterans. Phil is a great person. Your Pave peer advisor is a great person. Like there are whatever veterans are on campus in a like veteran service office to get connected and to get that information, because I had no idea. I didn't think I qualified for Voc Rehab, and somehow I got them to pay for a master's. So I think that would be my advice to my younger self. Don't be shy and look for the resources because there are infinite.
Yeah, right. Self-advocate. So
Yeah.
thank you. As we wrap up the formal portion of the info session, I want to shift gears and go to a little more informal Q&A piece. So I'm going to stop the Facebook recording now. But I just want to say thank you to JT and Riva for just being so vulnerable and sharing your experiences, to Phil and Mike for all the work that you're doing at University of Michigan. The entire WSP team, we're looking forward to seeing you this summer and really kind of, setting you up for success for whatever you decide to do with your academic journey. So with that, everyone on Facebook Live, have a great evening.